Many of you have probably seen a video I uploaded about the Southwest Chief turning around in Albuquerque last summer due to flash floods. Go check it out if you haven't. 22 years ago today, the same train had to deal with the same thing, a flash flood and a severe thunderstorm. However, it didn't exactly end the same way. This is the story of that eventful morning. On August 8, 1997, Amtrak train number 4, the Southwest Chief, departed Los Angeles Union Station bound for its final destination of Chicago, Illinois. The train was pulled by 4 P-42 DC locomotives built in the late 90s, and their numbers were 47, 50, 80, and 52. Behind the engines was a baggage car, 9 Superliner cars, 6 material handling cars, and 312 passengers and crew. The train left Union Station at about 8:30 that night. At about 5 a.m. the following morning, the train made a routine crew change stop in Kingman, Arizona. The weather, on the other hand, was not very routine. The train arrived in Kingman in a very severe thunderstorm, so severe that more than an inch of water dropped every hour. However, this was not stopping the train, and moments later, it pulled out of Kingman. A few miles northeast of the city, the train had already hit 90 miles per hour and passed the freight train that was heading westbound to California. Minutes later, however, the crew noticed a dip in the track ahead. They immediately threw the train into emergency. Unfortunately, they were far too close to stop. The train derails at about 5:56 a.m. Immediately after, panic grew amongst the passengers, many fearing that they were on the edge of a cliff and that the slightest move could tip the train over. Others, however, were desperate to get out. They opened emergency windows and kicked doors open and escaped from the train. Amazingly, all 294 passengers and 18 crew members survived this derailment. But now there's the question, why did the Southwest Chief derail? How come an earlier freight train had no trouble? The cause of this derailment was a flash flood.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
As well as BNSF.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, no, hold on a minute.
Even though it was really Mother Nature that caused the flash flood, which destroyed a bridge and made the tracks unsuitable for trains to pass over, the railroad company that owned the tracks was also found liable.
Right. Okay,
Here's what happened. Earlier that morning, BNSF received a flash flood warning in the Kingman area. In response, the railroad sent out a track supervisor to inspect the tracks. At about 4 a.m., the supervisor began his inspections. Between 4:30 and 4:45, he made his observations at Bridge 504.1, the bridge that the train derailed on. He did not get out of his vehicle for this inspection, but stated that water was flowing underneath it and adjacent to it. He also did not note anything unusual about the track alignment. About 50 minutes later, the westbound freight train crossed over the bridge, and the crew said they didn't notice anything wrong with the bridge or track from their perspectives. BNSF has installed sensors that detect high water and breaks in the track. The system normally works, but this storm was unlike any others. There was too much water for the ground to soak up. The flood overfilled a pond, ate away a bank, and swept it under the bridge. But that brings up another point. The bridge was very old. The wooden supports had been inadequately protected and foundations were pretty shallow, making it easier for the flood to misalign the bridge and track. There were also no speed restrictions given out to oncoming trains. The railroad company disagreed with these statements and wanted the investigation to be reopened. Either way though, the NTSB concluded that BNSF management had not taken proper measures to ensure that trains were safe from flash floods. Had there been a speed restriction, the Southwest Chief might have been going slow enough to stop once the dip was first noticed, and the derailment might not have happened. After the incident, all 4 engines went back into service with Amtrak. Although 47 was later involved in a head-on collision and 80 was involved in a vehicle strike. As a result, both were taken out of service and will likely never run again. 50 and 52, on the other hand, wore the Heartland Flyers Big Game Train lettering on their sides, though 52 no longer wears this and 50's lettering is far too small. Fix it, Amtrak. 22 years have passed since the incident, and the Southwest Chief has continued to be a great way to get between the Midwest and the Pacific.